Welcome to the really late or possibly early, depending on your time zone show, with your host, Bloomer for the win! Tonight's show featuring special guest, LavenderCourage. Tonight's show also featuring special guest, HandsomeLive. And now your host, Bloomer for the win!
Hey you guys, welcome to the show. We got a great one for you, and we're actually featuring a brand new format. That's right, guys. We're evolving the show just like a Charmander before you fight Brock, before you knew that you could have just caught a Nidoran with double kick. We're going to be starting off with good news from Prince Edward Island. That's right, guys. A PEI newsletter, or newspaper rather, didn't publish any obituaries last Thursday, leaving people wondering who dropped the ball in the newsroom. That is until reporter Colin McLean answered on Twitter, and I quote, "Just nobody died." Chicago obituary writers are demanding a pay raise. Although initially exciting news, the Who's Next pool in the retirement home got so large that the winner had to be rushed to the hospital. Colin had at least one obituary in the newspaper the next day. A pajama-panted thief robbed a store at gunpoint. He is expected to get away with a great night of sleep. The robber in question has claimed that it was his use of Ambien that caused him to think it was a good idea before winking at the camera and saying, "Right, Roseanne?" A thief stole 30 cheesecakes and one window from a Simcoe food truck. Some people say he stole the window to get out of the heavily locked truck. Others believe he was going for the true baked good at grandma's house experience. A BC man, Todd Standing, is taking the government to court to prove that Bigfoot does exist. Todd claims to have overwhelming evidence to back his claim. When we reached out for a first-hand look at the evidence, it was a handmade drawing he made in crayons. Even more proof, one night Todd heard a tree fall down and believes that if a tree falls in the forest and only he hears it, it must be Bigfoot. Unseemly erections lead to criminal indiscretions, as Halifax police finally have arrested a man wanted for indecent acts, seen wearing only a black G-string while masturbating in public. He was difficult to catch, as by the time the police arrived, he had already finished. You can say he was hard to follow up on. Sure, he was quick, but his head was in the game and out of his pants. Police have told the man, "You can't come and go as you please." Just hours after getting into a fight with his wife, a man flew a plane into his Utah home. It's being reported that the man wasn't originally aiming for his house, but the in-flight movie I Feel Pretty, featuring Amy Schumer, was just that bad. An extremely attractive umbrella jacket has hit the market for £11, or about 14 American dollars. Some people worried about the price being high for some plastic, but it's really cheap when you think of all the money you'll be saving not going out because none of your friends are willing to be seen with you when you wear the umbrella jacket. Seriously, look at this guy, just counting down the minutes till whatever bet he lost is over. An added bonus of the jacket is that you can warn off predators that may wander too close. A man in Florida was caught enjoying more than just these sandwiches at a local Panera. Anthony Danell Goldsmith was caught masturbating while staring at a woman inside the store. Law enforcement got involved and arrested the man. When questioned, the man said, "Like you've never had to masturbate while eating a Panera sandwich." The owner of Corona has invested another $4 billion in cannabis producer Canopy in an effort to make a non-alcoholic, cannabis-based beverage. With the shift in the industry towards more cannabis-related beverage, bars' happy hours are expected to start at 4:20 p.m. with an all-you-can-eat buffet. Before the bar, of course, closes down at 4 p.m. Guys, you gotta get those hours of beauty sleep in. A Florida man, a lot of Florida stories today, guys. A Florida man, James Dylan Jordan, was arrested for attempting to striptease at a Japanese steakhouse. James approached the table, danced in front of the woman while getting undressed. When she asked him to stop, James threatened to beat up her husband. After being released on bail, James said he understands that stripping at the Japanese restaurant was wrong and has learned his lesson. James has last been seen heading to the local Olive Garden. Infinite breadsticks. Guys, a Florida man accused of stealing identities of several prominent celebrities, including a Backstreet Boys member, Howie Dorough. When asked, Howie said he has been shown the meaning of being lonely. He wished the man would quit playing games with his heart because as long as you love me, he'll always want it that way. Backstreet's back all right. A man, Jalen Norwood, was hit by a car while doing Drake's In My Feelings challenge. The challenge typically involves exiting a car and imitating the dance moves that Drake does in the music video. The most ironic part is the man no longer has any feeling in his face. Guys, we've got a great show. Starting off, we've got special guest LavenderCourage. If that wasn't enough, guys, we've also got special guest HandsomeLive. Stick around, fam. This is going to be a great one. Did you know that if you take your Amazon Prime and link it to your Twitch account, you can sub to your favorite streamer every 30 days free of charge? Now you do. The more you know. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Our next guest, she can be found on twitch.tv/LavenderCourage.
Loves to work out. That girl's ripped. She's a buff vampire. She's Vampire the Buffy. Fuck's sake. Don't ever do that again.
Chat, give it up for LavenderCourage. Lavender, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
I am stupendous. Thank you so much for being on the show.
You are so welcome. No problem.
I am very excited. You are someone who I've looked up to on Twitch for actually quite a while now. And, oh my gosh, you got me. So, Lavender, I know, and I know a bunch of the people that are watching right now already know, but let's start with the very basics. Who are you and what do you stream?
Oh, so I'm LavenderCourage. I'm a UK streamer. A lot of people mix up the accent. For some reason, a lot of people think I'm South African, which is always interesting.
Okay.
No, I'm a variety caster. I love games like Minecraft, The Sims 4, Stardew Valley, which you and I both kind of used to play a lot at the same time.
Absolutely.
All that sort of thing. Anything I can engage with viewers on and be chatting away to them. Euro Truck 2 is a great one to drive along and to just be able to chat and natter. Anything like that.
Absolutely. Fantastic. That's super funny. It's amazing that you bring up the Stardew thing because it's true. I remember when I used to stream Stardew fairly often, at least once or twice a week, and I thought I was the big shot in the Stardew Valley area because I was one of the top people. There was always one person that was ahead of me in the viewer count, so thusly on the listings, and sure enough, it was LavenderCourage. So
it was you we raided as well. That's how I met you.
We
came in and raided, and it was one of the first things you said. You were like, and here's the person that's one above me.
Yeah. Well, it was so funny because at that time, I don't know what it was going on with Twitch, but I know when I streamed in Stardew, as long as I was one of the top people, I would get a ton of follows every day. Yeah. 50, 60, 70, no problem. No problem whatsoever.
The good old days of Stardew.
Yeah, the good old days of Stardew, exactly. And there was always, though, there was a couple of people, and it was a big time running joke in my stream always, was like, what position was I in? because once I fell out of the top 3, it was like, okay, it totally dried up every single time. So I usually sat in this kind of the second spot, but sure enough, as soon as LavenderCourage gets on, it was
I feel like I'm a villain in this piece.
No. We loved you, and my community loved you, and all that. It was just so funny because it was, let's be honest, you were and still are, a larger streamer than myself, and you always were ahead of me by that one spot. I actually once or twice even made things like stream titles where I'd have the arrow pointing towards the left and saying, in my time slot, and things like that. So you were the victim to that once or twice.
Wow, I have no idea. I am only just finding out about this.
Oh my gosh,
That's
all the
brilliant.
secrets of my stream.
You were so much fun to raid because you're very similar to my community as well. So I feel like it's like my community can easily blend in with yours and vice versa. Very similar humor.
Absolutely.
And
I 1000% agree, and don't worry, it was always just in good fun whenever it was anything like that.
I love it. I'm so gutted I missed it. And I'm surprised no one pointed it out to me as well. Like, hey, can you see this guy next to us? Like,
Did you know that? This bloomer for the what?
Like, who is this guy?
Now, are you still doing any Stardew? Did you jump into the multiplayer?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love the multiplayer. I actually play
Awesome.
along with my community manager, Silverhawks.
Cool.
And we tend to play it once a week now. This is our weekly Stardew thing. And I find by doing that, people get hyped for it because it's like the weekly event.
Yeah.
And he and I have quite good banter. So
Okay.
there's like quite a lot of that, and at the start he was really new to it, and so I was being the role model of Stardew, and now he's doing stuff and I'm like, I did not know you could do that.
Like, sorry, what?
And I love that about Stardew. That they actually say through the devs there's stuff that nobody has discovered yet in that game that
No
has been in
kidding.
there like since the base game, not even just multiplayer.
Wow.
So I don't know what Concerned Ape has put in there, but I am determined I am going to be one of the that stuff.
That's so wild. I remember, so my biggest Stardew farm, I was a pig farmer, is what I always said.
Oh, okay.
I had something like, I'm trying to think how many. I must have had 14, 20 barns, fully upgraded, full of pigs.
Way.
So
I've never played it like that.
Oh
That's
my gosh.
crazy.
It was fun until I played it for too long. And then it got to the point where my entire day was just letting pigs out, picking up truffles, and then
Were you dreaming of pigs?
I was dreaming of pigs. It was unbelievable. It was super funny, and I was making mad amounts of money for the 3 seasons that the pigs could be out. But then all winter I'd be like, so what do I do in this game? Like,
Poor man Bloomer struggling through the winter with no crops.
Exactly. I absolutely love it. So you guys are doing the multiplayer. Do you have like a favorite barn or farm or like a style of play that you've done?
I actually love playing modded Stardew now.
Okay.
I live for modded Stardew. It has made the game so much more exciting, and I have a big mod list that I keep for anybody coming in so they can check out what I'm doing. I love to try different maps just to vary that up a lot, and I wear a lot of pink. I appreciate pink a lot, and so I try and make everything in Stardew Valley pink.
Okay.
Which, you know, it's always, that's one of the first comments when people come in. They're like, how did you get so much pink in your game? So, yeah, I love modding stuff. Stardew Valley is one of my favorite things to mod.
That's super awesome. I've never gone into the Stardew Valley mods, and I know a few people now have actually mentioned it and said, like, why aren't you? I know I even, a streamer I used to know and watch, she had a less appropriate mod on that was one of those ones that she was supposed to always turn off before she got on stream. And
I love it.
It was definitely interesting. I'll say that. I won't get into the details, but it is on YouTube.
I am so intrigued now.
Hey, that's it. We'll talk about that one after. So awesome. Now, you said that you do all these different video games, but originally you were a creative streamer.
Yeah. So actually, when I first started, I was a gaming streamer.
Okay.
And then creative really took off, you know, when the Bob Ross marathons and stuff came out.
Yeah.
And I had this side hobby of doing cross stitching. And I thought it was really hot one day. That was it. I remember now. And I was just like, it's too hot to game. You know those days where you're just like melting into your chair and you've got the fans on. And I thought, if I just cross stitch, I can relax. You know, I'm not like moving around a ton and what have you. So I did it. And people started coming in and being like, hey, I do this too. Or what is this? I've never seen this before. And people that had never seen the creative side of Twitch. And it kind of just took off. And then one day staff started coming in and I was thinking, oh my gosh, what is happening? It just carried on from there. And I realized I was getting more of my projects done that I was doing as a hobby by actually, it was keeping me accountable to get stuff done. Whereas if I did it offline, I'd have loads of stuff that was like work in progress, stuff I'd left to the side. So I started focusing on stuff like Disney characters and video game characters and stuff like that when I was stitching. And I noticed a lot of people were stitching on fabric, whereas I stitched on plastic. And it kind of just made it a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you could prop them up afterwards, kind of almost like figurines or decorations. And I thought, how about if I give some of these away to my viewers? Because then they've kind of got like a personal piece of the channel in their own home.
Absolutely.
And people started wanting to enter that, and they'd be like, when's the next giveaway? Have you finished this piece yet? Because they wanted to be able to try and grab it.
Yeah.
And then I realized you could get partnered under creative as well.
Yes.
So I just thought, why the heck not? I'll go for it. At this point, I was also doing some gaming on the side as well, so people still saw that I was gaming.
Yeah.
And I applied, and they said, basically, you just need to have a little bit of a higher percentage of creative. So I went, like, full ham to get, like, into creative. And then one day, whilst stitching Linus from Stardew Valley...
Ah, there you go.
I had Cool Mom, one of the people, the staff, come in and be like, hey, check your emails on stream whilst I was live. And I checked and I was just like, do not cry in front of the staff. And I had to put down my stitching. I think it was about half an hour. My hands were just shaking so much.
That's so cool. And isn't that the dream too, in all honesty, to have an actual Twitch staff come into your channel and say, hey, you remember how you applied for a partner? Maybe you just want to go check your email real quick.
It was surreal. You see these clips on like YouTube of it happening and things like that, or people tweeting out, oh my God, this just happened whilst I was live. And you're just like, man, that would be so nice. But, you know, I don't know if that would happen to me. I'll probably get the email at like 4 in the morning because of time zones. And then I'll wake up and be all excited. And I can plan it and make it like a surprise to my chat. But no, I got completely wrecked on stream.
That's amazing. Your community obviously freaked out as well at the time.
Oh, everyone kind of knew it was coming as well. And it was just like, is this it? Is this the moment? Is it all gonna like, yeah. And it's wonderful. Is when that clip got taken, when I got partnered, was just when they started to introduce being able to still show the chat down the side, you know, with clips.
Yeah.
And so it's amazing. It was so nice to have the chat recorded as well, so I can always look back at that and see the reactions that people had. So
what a cool moment, and what an amazing, yeah, exactly, amazing experience. What else do you say about it? So neat. So how long ago did that actually happen? Like, when did you get partnered?
Oh, I got partnered in 2016, November 14th. I got my sub button on the 16th, and then I went live on the 17th. So I have a couple of, like, my longest subs are on the 16th, but primarily they're all on the 17th of November.
That makes sense. Just the people that were, like, refreshing, seeing, is it now? Is it now?
Yeah,
is it now?
Yeah. There were I think it came out at like midnight my time, so there were people like waiting around for it just to be the first official sub, which was quite a cool feeling.
That is. Do we know? So do you know who it was, out of curiosity, who had the very first official sub in your channel? Oh gosh, I put you on the spot.
I believe it might have actually been one of my moderators. Was one of them. And then shortly behind were all of like my very, very like faithful like regulars that are there every single stream were like, I have to be first, I have to be there. So that was quite a nice feeling seeing that, you know, come into fruition as well. And, you know, people weren't just saying, oh, I'd love to sub if you had a button. People actually followed through with it, which is such a nice feeling.
It really is. It's true. I remember my first person as well. I'm, of course, just affiliated. And when that came out and that dropped, I remember one person in my chat, they said, there's a sub button. I said, oh, wait, what already? Because it just had happened. It was like the day before that they announced that this was going to happen. And as I was saying, but it just, then I heard the noise. And what a moment. What a cool moment.
That's so lovely. Do you have that recorded? Do you have that?
You know what sucks is I probably did at one point, but I don't have it recorded anymore. At least not on this PC. Maybe on the other one. But yeah, no, that's a quick shout out to M1297 for the record.
Good job, buddy.
Good work. Anyways, on another topic. Now, have you always been a gamer? Like, I mean, obviously you started Twitch as a gamer, and now you're going back to it a little bit here. When did you start playing video games?
So I was actually originally a PC gamer right from the young age of maybe 5 or 6 years old. My first ever game was Croc, Legend of the Gobos.
Nice.
So I started with platformers, and then at school I would hear everyone talking about the magical fabled PlayStation 1, and so eventually I got one for Christmas, and I grew up on stuff like Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Rayman, stuff like that. Just really got heavily into platformers.
Cool.
And it pretty much went from there. I got introduced to Nintendo through the Game Boy as well. Became a very big Pokemon fan.
Perfect.
And yeah, I pretty much went from there. Started to meddle with Xboxes and stuff as I got older, but I'm very much into JRPGs and stuff in my downtime and what have you. So Sony has kind of always overruled on things like that. But since starting streaming, PC gaming is now my main thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's funny. I played PC gaming. I did World of Warcraft for about a year of my life, and it wasn't on a very impressive computer. And I would have considered myself, I guess, a PC gamer at that point. But other than that, I was always console, always console. Then I got a fairly cheap computer for to start streaming on, and I can't even imagine going back now.
Same.
PC gaming is just phenomenal, and I hate to be one of those guys that's like PC master race, but I mean, I gotta tell you, like, my poor PS4 is just sitting there waiting for me to use it for Netflix. You know, like,
I feel exactly the same. It's like my PlayStation is my Blu-ray player, and that's it. It feels so bad.
There are things I'm excited for. For example, when Last of Us 2 comes out, I'll definitely pick that up, and I'll play that again. But on the whole, yeah, no, I gotta be honest. Although I recently have caved into the Nintendo Switch, and holy smokes, I'm loving that.
The Switch is amazing. I have one as well, and it's phenomenal. They have taken such a good direction with it. I'm loving the content it comes out with. It's just...
Well, I gotta tell you,
so handy.
I've always been a bit of a Nintendo fanboy, and holy smokes, they've really not let me down this generation. And
same.
Even my wife, who is not really a gamer, she's been playing the Switch. And I mean, we're talking like I'm on stream and I've got the Switch over here, and she'll just come like
come and ninja it away.
Yeah. I'm like, fine. Oh my gosh, I was just charging it so I could play later, but that's fine. And no, but
take my plans away from me.
Do you have a personal favorite game on the Switch right now?
Ooh.
Oh, it's a tough one.
I'm very much a Mario Kart player through and through.
Oh yeah.
The fact that they have Mario Kart for the Switch now, I love it. I can just pick it up for a few races, get salty, put it back in stock for another couple of months. But no, I love Mario Kart. Mario Odyssey is phenomenal as well. Yeah. Such a like visually stunning game. The soundtrack,
very well done.
Good.
Very well done.
But yeah, and I mean, of course, you've got like Zelda as well, and the fact I can take Stardew Valley on the go is always a wonderful thing. So it's just got so much to offer.
Yeah, I fully agree with you 100%. I'm still playing through Mario because I just got it recently.
Yeah.
Mario Kart I've sunk a good few hours into as well now. I'm looking forward to, there's a few that I can't wait to try. The Zelda game. Everybody and their friends and their moms and their pets have all been telling me, you have to play this. So,
it's like playing a Studio Ghibli movie, and like, it is incredible. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I need to get that one. So that's on my to-do list. And I'm actually really excited to try Pokken Tournament out.
What's that? Oh, Pokken Tournament. Yes.
The Pokemon
and then there's
fighting
Smash
game
coming out as
Smash is coming out. Then we're gonna get the new Pokemon game on it.
Yeah, I have both those. I have the Pokemon game and Smash pre-ordered, so I am very, very excited for those.
I actually am even thinking about Mario Party coming out. Oh my gosh.
That will break some relationships.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But it's going to be so glorious while it goes down. So
yes, it is. The salt will be real, and it will be...
I can't wait. It's just awesome. So awesome. Obviously, I'm also a Nintendo fanboy because of the fact that as soon as we start talking about it, it's like, let's go on with this. But we will change gears just a little bit here. I want to talk about going back to kind of the PC gaming aspect of things, and that's another game I see you play a lot. You mentioned that you enjoy it, is The Sims. Yes, you're a big Sims fan.
Yeah, and I used to kind of just casually play it, just in my downtime, and you know, I'd run like a basic family, put some cheats on, just rosebud the crap out of it, and have a ton of money, and just do it like that. But then I started to see people playing it on Twitch, and that they were doing different stuff with it. They were modding it to give them more clothes, or they were like really into building houses, like proper interior design level, and also doing challenges. And I started checking that out and thinking, wait, there's a little bit more to this than I realized. I've just got to kind of use my imagination a little bit. And I looked up the challenges that I could do for it. And the first one I saw was a legacy challenge, which is where you have 10 generations of a family, and you start them out from absolutely nothing, like no house, nothing. They have to live on a massive plot of land, and you build them up from having no job to being super successful and raising like a mansion and 10 generations worth of family.
Wow, okay.
And we started with the lovable sim Ted, who I completely randomized to take me out of my comfort zone, so I didn't like have somebody I would normally make.
Yeah.
And he was a complete idiot. And chat loved him because he was making me scream and yell at him constantly. And we had this whole saga just come about because I tried a challenge, the whole saga of Ted, and it was epic and emotional and frustrating, and I got chat to like make decisions for me on like careers and what the kids should be called and stuff like that, and how we could pretend like certain stuff happens like relationship wise and things. So I found out my chat is quite aggressive on things like that, so I discovered a new side of them, and then I found out I was pretty much the same, so I feel like I discovered a new part of me through The Sims. It just opened up a whole new flow of conversation for the stream, and it's gone from there. I now do sorts of challenges, and I have to divide up my days to make sure I cover different stuff. Because I've got fans of different challenges.
Yes.
So I have to make sure I'm appeasing to each group of people. And it's given me this whole new addiction I never knew I wanted or needed in my life.
That's so incredible. And it's funny because I don't know a lot about The Sims, but I do know a lot of people and streamers that play it, and I thought it was so neat because I've heard of the challenges, but I was watching your stream and I was seeing you doing one, and I forget what it was called at the time, but I was just like, this really does have, it's it's unbelievable, again, how much content you can get out of one game just by what you said, being a little bit creative, using your imagination, and quite frankly, going online and saying, you know, Sims challenges, and it's unbelievable.
There's so much out there, and there's these amazing people that are constantly making new ones, and you're thinking, why did I never think of that before? And it just adds such a new element to the game.
Yeah.
And even the people, you get people that don't actually play with their Sims, they just build.
Yeah.
And they have building challenges where they go for certain themes, or they're like, okay, I'm gonna build a house with this much budget and what have you. And it's like almost like a whole new world of community, and it's amazing. And the Sims community as well. Everyone's so friendly and positive and fun, and just wanting to like share like the creativity. It's what I love about it.
It's really, really very cool. And I mean, I think your love and your passion of video games has really been shining through, because every time we start talking about a game you're passionate about, Stardew, Sims, Mario, you're like right there. You're like, there's this, and I love that. And I think every Twitch streamer should be like that. So
I can feel my hands just slowly going more and more rapidly.
Just throwing things around. You're like, yeah, this is amazing.
And I think that's so important as a streamer. You should have games that make you do that, because that gives you the best entertainment, the best commentary, and people are going to want to watch that. They don't want to watch something where you're just like, okay, I'm going to play this today. And,
isn't that the truth? 100%. Now, I do want to shift gears just a little bit, and I want to talk about, well, a lovely gentleman in your world. I believe his name is Mav.
Yes.
Yes. Now, he is, I always say he's often discussed, but seldomly seen.
Yeah. Mav, short for Mavington. That's my my partner, who I've been with for 4 years.
Excellent.
And we have lived together for nearly all of that as well. We've actually known each other 10 years, and we met through the anime community and liking video games and stuff as well. We just took our damn time getting together. And he used to be seldom seen but always heard, because in our old apartment that we were in until just about 2.5 months ago, he'd be playing his Xbox in the background, and I'd be having to be like, honey, I need you to not yell on Destiny whilst I'm playing, okay? Like, I'd be trying something serious like Life is Strange, and I just have him go in the background. So that's where the Mav emote came from, which is just him with a very sort of cross look on his face with his Xbox headset on. And
perfect.
I've been told under no certain circumstances am I allowed to remove that. That's my chat telling me that, not Mav.
Yeah.
And they love him. They love him because he's got this very dry, sarcastic humor, and I think they love him because he also fires his Nerf guns at me. So
yeah, that's what's not to love then, right?
And we have quite a lot of banter between us. He's actually done a couple of streams with me before.
Awesome.
When the Switch first came out with Zelda, we did something we called 2 scrubs, 1 controller. And we had 1/2 of the controller each for the Switch.
Yeah.
And then played Zelda together.
Okay.
And there was lots of like, turn the camera this way, what's wrong with you? And like, hit it. And just playing stuff like that with him where we can just have a good giggle and not take it seriously. He's great for that. And,
that's amazing. Now, obviously, he's extremely supportive of the stream then, and you streaming in general. How about, when we talked briefly about this before we started the interview, and that's friends, family. Do you let them know that you're a streamer? Do they drop on by? What's the situation?
Yeah, so I actually, just before I started streaming, or just when I started, I explained it to my parents. And now, I don't live with my parents. So it doesn't impact them in any way, shape, or form. Okay. They also have terrible internet, and I'm kind of glad of that, because then they can't hear me swearing, which is...
There you go.
It's a good thing. But I said to my dad, you know, I can remember saying, you know, some people make this really big, you know, they make it their full-time job, it becomes their career and stuff. And he's just like, yeah, but that's just the few people with the real big business sense. And kind of in the back of my head, I was like, I'll show you. And I think he realized over time just like how much it was growing, because he started saying to me, how's the stream going? How many followers do you have now? And stuff like that. And then we were at a wedding and he started trying to explain Twitch to other family members. And I was like, oh my God, he's actually kind of proud of what I'm doing.
There you go.
And, I think it really hit for them when I flew out to the US. Actually, I got flown out to take part in a panel with Intel at an educational conference to talk about online bullying and how to help combat it and what can be done, and like my own story and stuff. And my mom was so proud, and she was just like constantly like, you know, this is amazing, you know, you're that's come from, you know, I actually have anxiety and depression. And she was just like, oh my God, you've just like flown across the Atlantic to go and do this all by yourself. And it just made it that was a really feel good moment for me. Not just the flying across, but the fact that my parents were so supportive of something that they pretty much still have no concept of. And they're a little bit like, what do you do? How does this mean you don't have to work as much?
Yeah.
Like, what? They don't quite get that, but they're happy that it's working for me, and I found something that's making me grow as a person.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And my friends have supported me from day one, which is amazing. When I first started, I used to just put up on like my private social media, you know, I'm gonna try streaming, and people would turn up, and I had a couple of people that helped moderate and what have you. And gradually, a lot of them did drop off. I had a point where they were just like, it wasn't the new thing, you know, anymore. Their friend, you know.
Absolutely.
And I started gaining like viewers anyway, so it was just like, okay, that's fine, you know, if you just would like chilling out to support whilst I got started, good stuff. But I found the longer I've been now doing this, and the more I've talked to them about how, like, you know, this is pretty much a full-time thing for me now, I've had people start coming back, and they've been like, okay, I'm actually enjoying lurking in this. We had a anime convention I went to recently, and one of my friends said to me, I just like was styling my wigs whilst watching you, and you made the time go quicker and stuff like that. And I was like, that's so cool. I love that.
That's perfect.
I love that I can help my friends in that way.
Absolutely. And it's a way for them to hang out with you, even if they can't necessarily hang out with you at that time, which is so cool.
Such a big thing as well. My best friend, I used to live in London, and I now live in a city called Norwich, which is a 2-hour train ride away.
Okay.
And my best friend still lives in London, and I used to see her once a week, and now obviously it's every couple of months, unfortunately. And she said one of the most comforting things for her was she can stick my stream on in the background, and it feels like I'm in the room with her again, which is such a precious thing to me, and I love that helped her so much.
I love hearing that too, and that is amazing. And the power of the internet and the power of Twitch.tv pulling people together. Now, I had about 17 other things to talk about, but we're going to drop it right here, guys. You can find her twitch.tv/LavenderCourage. You can also find her over on twitter.com/LavenderCourage. Lavender, thank you so much for being here today. I beyond appreciate it. Guys, we got plenty more show to go. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss it.
Oh, I didn't see that. Serenia TV coming at you guys. You know, a lot of people ask me, hey, Serenia, do you like Monster? Are you sponsored by Monster? And I say, I don't know, you know? Yeah. But I should be.
Welcome back to the show, guys. We're entering into a brand new segment that we are lovingly referring to as Catching Up with the Tube, where we're going to be diving into some of the best videos that YouTube and other video streaming services have to offer. To kick things off, we wanted to start with a brand new video from what was once a favorite amongst gamers and now finds itself lower on Twitch than Farming Simulator 2018. Seriously, Who doesn't dream of a job where they make minimal money to do exhausting physical labor all day? Of course, we're talking about Overwatch and its newest short feature, a fan favorite, D.Va, or more specifically, Hannah, the young pilot of the mechanical suit.
We barely won last time. The enemy is out there, adapting and getting stronger. The rest of the squad, the country, they're all counting on me. If I make a mistake and the Kyushin get through us, we lose everything.
That's right, guys. In the future, South Korea's military budget is stretched just far enough to hire one 19-year-old gamer who made her name on Twitch and the mechanical suit that we're still not entirely sure how she sits in. The short then proceeds to show Hannah go out, risking her life and limb on her own as an unexpected attack from the Omnics threatened the city.
D.Va engaging.
Hey! You can't do it alone!
Activating defense matrix.
Typical D.Va I play with, goes in alone, wastes her entire defense matrix before the fight really begins. Can we just take a moment to recognize how much more badass D.Va is with infinite flight power? Of course, despite going into a 1v6, D.Va manages to fight off almost all of the invaders before she finds herself in a final struggle with the last Omnic.
Hannah?
Trust me, Daehyun. I'll see you at the finish line.
Man, that solo ulted feel. After D.Va defies all the odds and saves the city once again, she still has more than enough time to learn a valuable lesson about friendship.
Yeah.
And good friends. The kind that are always there for you when you need them most.
Ouch, buddy. That friend zone hurt even from over here. You just see in his face, that look that he just realized he's never gonna get up in her mech. And for the first time ever, he's gonna try and accept that. All's well that ends well, which is a lot better than the original idea for the short.
Stop putting it all on yourself. It's okay to ask for help.
I've got this. Really.
Here she comes, boys!
There's little better than esports cringe as we jump into a great video as an esports host gets the analyst team in the mood to talk some Dota.
Normally, you know, I have like a pre-hosting ritual, Winter. I mean, you can probably appreciate this. So last night, you know, I was perusing the hotel entertainment and, you know, actually, you know, for the ritual to get ready for today. And it turned out, you know, censorship, the Chinese hotel had disabled pornography. So it was very hard to kind of get ready for the show. I mean, don't get me wrong, I watched it. Mr. Wang's amazing wheelchaired antics were pretty amazing. A real thriller, and I did manage to finish, and I'm here for the show today now. So
is this the rehearsal, by the way? Are we live, or is this?
It's just, you know, so I feel like I'm ready to host, you know.
Well, guys, I too am ready to host. Oh man, when the host is so hot that you need to cover your boner with a pillow. I've always believed in having a good wank before doing something important. Sure, some of you may cringe, but I say good on this man for telling the truth. In a world filled with athletes, not just in the traditional sports like basketball or football, but also esports such as CSGO or Overwatch, it's important that we don't forget athletes can come in all shapes and sizes, which of course brings us to a tradition as old as someone born in 2016, the Marble Olympics. That's right, guys. 16 teams face off over 12 events where there's only one winner.
And there are just 2 competitors to go, so the Savage Speeders are guaranteed a medal. Now the Hazers. Pretty unpredictable team, really. They're off to a good start here, leading by 4 or 5 lengths. Can Misty stretch that gap any further? Yes, he can. Every turn, in fact. He's ahead of Marble Olympics record time. 15.64. 2 turns to go. Now over at 10th, nearly 2 tenths. Will Misty from the Hazers reset the Marble Olympics record? Yes, he will. 30.34. And that is going to be good enough for gold medal for the Hazers.
And you guys thought Marbles on Stream was unique. The Marble Olympics would be expected to have a larger viewing audience if only they included the !play command. Of course, it's not all world records and gold medals. The Marble Olympics has its fair share of broken hearts and injuries, as we see here.
With breaking news from the last event, you may recall that Team Momo was involved in a pair of incidents at the start of the bobsleigh course. The first one saw Momo Mo taken down with altitude sickness. They stopped the run, team doctors were consulted, and they decided he should sit out for the duration of these Marble Olympics.
For some Marble racers, what looks like it could be their opportunity to make a real name for themselves, instead ends in tragedy.
For what some fans affectionately call the Group of Death, Group C. Off we go. Balls of chaos up there. Plasma. Primary fighting back and forth. They're losing ground, though. Team Primary really losing ground over the course of this one. Limer's also way off the back of the pace. But it's Team Plasma, the newcomers, out in front. They have a challenge. Look at this! Everybody stopped! Everybody has completely come to a stop on the course.
This race sparked international controversy, as it's been rumored that certain teams have accepted bribes to throw races. However, it's the first time all 7 racers have attempted this. Of course, it's not a real sport without fans, and often we get to see the Marbles fans sitting in the back, enjoying the spectacle. Just like people, though, not all marbles are perfect.
Championship leaders in the Marble Olympics. I'm sure they would hate me for comparing the shades of blue. Oh, and what is this? A fan marble got on the track and totally interrupted things. How did that happen? My gosh, the fan marble. The guards coming down to arrest them now. Some of the other fans in Block L, they're also trying to stop things from escalating.
Looks like at least one fan from the audience couldn't hold their liquor. Don't worry, everyone. The marble in question got the chance to redo its run, and the fan marble got released after spending the day in the drunk tank. Finally, we have an interview with chess grandmaster Magnus Carlsen, as he gets offended by the way the interviewer phrased a question.
Magnus, you seem to have some hiccups earlier today. You didn't have really smooth performances, and this game wasn't that smooth either. It looked a little bit unclear. What was your feeling overall as the game was transpiring?
Okay, I mean, what do you want me to do? So, I mean, I take the piece, and then, I mean, of course, he hasn't done anything particularly wrong. Of course, it's not going to be lost. I mean, what do you want from me?
I just want to see you blossom into the flawless chess machine I know you can be. It doesn't get any smoother for the interviewer, and as a matter of fact, I'd say it just goes downhill from here.
I don't want anything. I just want to see just chess getting played.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about, I mean, that the game wasn't smooth, and I'm again, what do you want me to do? I mean, yeah, sure.
We haven't seen a real tongue-lashing like this in the sport of chess since Earl Hemington Jr. told Chester McCormick that his king rook 7 looked like a real knight bishop 4. Some of those might even be real things.
Oh,
I mean, do you want me to get a huge advantage from the opening and then to push it all the way? Is that the only way you can win a smooth game? Is that your point?
Oh, not at all, Magnus. But certainly the game was tricky enough. Let me get your thoughts on how you've done so far.
I'm just feeling that the whole, the way you're approaching it is trying to belittle the whole thing. That's my only issue.
My apologies, Magnus. We definitely have respect for you as a world champion, so don't take any offense to what we're trying to say. We're just trying to do commentary.
Who would have thought that the guy who is a world-class chess genius would have somewhat awkward social abilities?
Hey, Bloomer? Bloomer!
Guys, it's LavenderCourage. Lavender, welcome back. What's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to say this new format is great.
Well, thank you so much, Lavender. I really means a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, despite some hiccups and being super smooth at the beginning.
Sorry, not smooth. Pardon?
Yeah.
Well, what do you want? Do I need to be funny like right away? Just be super funny right away and have you laughing the whole time? Is that the only way that this new format can be funny to you? Is that your point?
No, certainly not, but certainly it was tough to...
I'm just feeling that the way you're approaching this is you're trying to belittle the whole thing.
My apologies, Boomer. I have respect for you as a host. So don't take any offense to what I'm trying to say. Just trying to do some commentary.
Yeah, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, LavenderCourage. We'll be right back with more show. Have you ever wanted to advertise your stream and or product on the world's okayest talk show? Well, now's your chance. To put an ad on the show, send an email with your 15 to 30 second ad to bloomerforthewin@gmail.com with your Twitch username and what you do. Welcome back to the show, guys. Our next guest can be found on twitch.tv/HandsomeLive. Chat, give it up for HandsomeLive.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey there.
Didn't see you there, bud.
Handsome, thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
My pleasure.
Thank
you for having me.
Oh, anytime, my friend. I'm excited. I'm honored to have you on the show, and we got a lot to talk about, in all honesty. We do. But before we get too far, now I know a lot of my community, and of course all of your community that's coming here today, they all know who you are. But there are going to be some people coming off the street, off the Twitch street. They might not know who you are, so tell them, who are you and what do you stream?
All right, guys. Well, my name obviously is HandsomeLive. We went over that like 7 times now. But for the ladies, you can just call me Handsome. And I'm a Twitch streamer. So what I do exactly on Twitch is I stream a lot of competitive games. So right now I'm streaming a lot of Rainbow Six Siege. I'm primarily known for Counter-Strike, Overwatch, and League of Legends. However, I don't stream League much anymore. And I've become recently very addicted to Dead by Daylight. So if you do like any of those games, make sure to come check out the stream because it's very, very funny. I'm not the best player by any chance. I'm an esports caster. So I follow this really good saying that people say those who can't play coach and those who can't coach cast. So that's me in a nutshell. Besides that, I do a bunch of other stuff that I'm sure Bloomer has prepared a lengthy list of questions to
absolutely
pry out of my brain.
It's unbelievable. It's like 3 pages long.
Yep.
Or not at all. Or we said we just wing this one. Who knows? Like, take this card and like whatever, we'll figure it out.
That's it.
So, all right, let's start with you said you're playing Dead by Daylight, which is not typically the most competitive game in the world,
right?
But it has its own set of challenges and whimsical enjoyment. Now, what is it that brought you to DBD, and why are you playing that one so much?
Essentially what brought me to DBD, and I'm going to name drop another streamer already, is Monkeyism.
Cool.
So she's a very good friend of mine, as you do know, and she knows I'm obsessed with horror, anything horror. I literally have a laser engraved Chucky medallion in my car. So I do love everything that has to do with horror, And she said, this is a game you have to play. You have to stream it. Your community is going to love it. So I tried it out, and I've been addicted.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, do you play killer or survivor typically?
So that's where it gets interesting. I prefer playing killer, but then if I'm playing with friends, I'm going to play survivor, since there's more fun to be had playing with each other rather than me trying to kill them.
Absolutely.
But I do love playing killer. So
okay, do you have a specific killer you main, or do you just play all of them?
I play all of them, but recently I've been playing a lot of Pig.
Cool.
So she's pretty fun, yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's another. And here, I'll name drop a streamer as well. Laterial is I believe, a Pig main as well when she's playing killer, and I've seen it on her stream as well. So very cool. One more thing you guys have in common. Now, so you do a lot of shooters as well, obviously. You just mentioned a whole bunch of them. Now, Siege is one I personally have never gotten into yet. I haven't had the opportunity. How does that compare to things like CSGO?
Funny story about Siege is my community has a very big personality, I guess you can say. They love calling me out any chance they get. Of course. So I was playing Counter-Strike, regular old day, handsome playing Counter-Strike, and I was talking a lot of crap about Siege. And unbeknownst to me, one of my viewers works at Ubisoft.
Okay.
So she took a little bit of offense to my banter, and she said, listen, you haven't even played the game. Play the game first, and then talk crap about it. And I said, you know what? That's a fair point. I can't argue with that sound logic. But then me being me, I'm like, I'm not going to pay the starter edition and then be handicapped with the currency gain. And I'm not going to drop like $60 on a game that I might not like. So that's the last I heard from that. And then a couple streams later, she actually just shot me a message in chat. She said, hey, check your Discord.
Wow.
I checked my Discord. She had gotten me a key of the Year 3 Gold Edition, which is a very expensive edition.
Nice.
So I said, listen, I'm going to play this game to be nice. Okay. I didn't think I was going to like it. So I played it. And then 30 seconds in, I was here playing, and I was like, yep, I'm not playing Counter-Strike anymore. This is my game.
You're leaning in. Your hands are sweating. You're just like, I need to win.
So I don't think I've played Counter-Strike since I started playing Siege. I played maybe with friends who kind of like twisted my arm to play, but
yeah, so it really took over for you.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Now, is there anything in particular that you can think of that really made you go, yeah, this game is better, other than the fact that you got it donated to you, which is obviously amazing.
Obviously. So I did end up paying a bit back to her because I felt it necessary, but what I love the most about Siege is that not only is it a very strategic game, you can't just Rambo it like every other shooter, but it plays on another axis completely. So regular shooters will play X and Y, right? So
yeah.
But this one plays actually the 3D axis, so it plays a little bit of the Z axis as well. So you can actually bust through walls, bust through ceilings, bust through floors, which kind of makes you grow eyes everywhere on your head. So instead of like regular Counter-Strike, you'll be holding an angle, and the only way the team can come is this way or behind you.
Yeah.
But in Siege, they can come this way. They can come from that angle. They can come from the ceiling. They can throw a C4 under your feet and make you explode. It's just, it's anxiety 100%. I love it.
I was going to say it adds another element of play. That's a good way of putting it. But no, yeah, you're right. Just mass stress. You're just a giant stress ball.
Honestly, yeah. It's the most stressful game I ever played, and I love it.
Well, that's really cool. See, I always wanted to get into a game like that. But honestly, I'm just so bad at anything that requires aim. That seriously, it's unbelievable. I have a great game sense. I'll be the guy calling things out, and I just meanwhile it's like, okay, there's a barn in front of you that you just have to shoot one bullet into that barn, and I'm like a stormtrooper. Like, what?
Listen, stormtroopers have the best aim in the Empire because they made the protagonists go exactly where Vader wanted them to go.
That's, you're thinking.
The more you know.
This is a whole different. You just blew my mind. I've been insulting stormtroopers for forever now, and apparently,
it's like the Dark Knight. They're the hero the Empire needs, but not the one they want.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's very fair. All right, so let's move on here. I want to talk because you talked about the fact that you've done some commentating and some casting, and I think that's amazing. I think that's super cool. Tell me, how'd you get started? What have you been doing? And just give us the whole details.
So like everything in life, well, in my life, because I'm sure other people are a lot more organized than I am.
Maybe.
Anything that gets started, any project that I start, it's because someone said, hey, Jerry, you should do this. And I'm like, okay, bet, I'll do it. So I studied in college, I studied broadcasting. So I studied radio broadcasting. That's why I talk a lot. Actually, no, I talked a lot all the time. So I just studied broadcasting because it was a job where I could talk and get paid.
Yeah.
And then I finished school, and then I realized I don't like radio. So I just started playing video games, and then I have my day job as well. And then I went to a LAN ETS, and I saw the casters, and I was like, hey, I could do this. And then my friend's like, yeah, you'd be awesome. So after he said, yeah, you'd be awesome, I was like, you know what, that's verification enough. Let's do this. And I started just doing stuff for free, like anything. I was like, I'll come cast for you. You want a caster? Don't pay me. I'm coming. And then it's gotten to the point where sometimes I have a motto, and this is from Master Sytac, who told me this. He said, do it once for free for everyone. So even LAN ETS, the first event, I did them for free. And then now this year, they want me to help run the whole casting. So it shows that little work pays off. But yeah, so I started that, and then I realized I really love casting, and you can have a certain level of professionalism and be a troll at the same time, and people love it. So
yeah,
I have an absolute blast casting.
So give us a couple of events that maybe you've casted in the past.
So I do a lot of online tournaments. Yeah. I did a couple events for the Ontario Esports League with Master Sytac. Yeah. The most recent LAN I did was LAN ETS, which is the biggest Canadian LAN that's all done locally. So DreamHack is obviously the biggest one, but DreamHack HQ is in Sweden. So LAN ETS, if you guys don't know, it's a school called École de Technologie Supérieure, which in English is the Superior Institute of Technology, I guess you could say.
Perfect.
And they do it all. It's all student run. And it was an amazing experience. You could tell that it was student run sometimes, which is fine because they don't hide it. They say, hey, it's students who run this. Yeah. But it was extremely well put. And that was the most recent LAN I did. And then I did all the Ontario Esports League stuff. I'm currently in talks with certain leagues that I can't talk about since I'm under NDA, but I'm current talks with other esports leagues that do want me to come cast for them. Cool. So you'll be seeing a lot more of me in the future. Wow. And while I'm not officially casting DreamHack, I'm always ready. I always have a suit with me at any event I go to in case they need a caster. So you might see me at DreamHack, but 99% won't, but you might.
But you never know, right? You never know. Someone calls in sick, all of a sudden Handsome's in his suit just saying,
someone's too hungover to wake up. How are we doing? I'm there playing video games. They're like, hey, bud, we need you to cast. I'm like, all right, take off my jersey, put on my suit, and I'm ready.
It's basically like Superman. You just find the closest phone booth and just jump in, jump out a few seconds later.
Take off the glasses, and then Handsome the caster.
I love it. I think that's so cool, man. And it's something you and I have talked about off stream and off of camera as well. Is it something that I think I'm looking forward to trying to dip my toes into as well. So who knows? Maybe we'll get a handsome bloomer sort of thing going on at some point.
I am down.
Of course, I love your name with handsome. Is like it made it sound like I was calling myself handsome. Just like a handsome bloomer, you know? Maybe that'll happen. Bloomer appears. Haha, just kidding. That'll never happen. No, that's super neat though, man, and you know that I think it's cool. Now, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna give you a little free reign here, and maybe that's a mistake. That could be. Maybe this is where we start editing the show, guys.
Big red button, do not push. Bloomer just pushed it.
Yeah, we've hung out a few times, and you have just tons of interesting stories, man. Every time we hang out, it's a laugh riot, and it's a good time, and it seems like I learn a little something about you each time. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you can come up with something here.
I got a couple things I guess I could talk about.
Teach us something new about HandsomeLive.
Well, something new about HandsomeLive. I mean, I'm such a mysterious guy, so
that's true.
Everything is new about HandsomeLive. But so if we're talking, like, we're gonna stay in the streaming scope for a bit, I guess. Okay. A couple funny things have happened recently in streams. One was not so recent; it was a couple months ago. Okay. But I was playing Overwatch, which is pretty rare that I stream Overwatch, just because I'm garbage at it. And I was playing a ranked game because I don't believe in playing casual.
Yeah, no, of course.
Because filthy casuals. Not sponsored.
I heard what you did there. This is when the logo flashes across the screen. And
so essentially, I only play ranked in any game. So even Siege, I have under 40 hours of gameplay logged, and I'm playing ranked only. So
yeah,
I was playing Overwatch, and I'm a troll at any game I play. Okay. Even Bloomers has seen me in real life. I troll waiters in real life.
Yeah.
So I was playing Overwatch, and there was a gentleman on my team, and I was trolling him. But little did I know that he didn't know I was trolling him, and I didn't know he was trolling me. So it actually ended up being a streamer. whose name is M60, who is a pretty big streamer. He's an IRL streamer, and he's part of the LGBTQ plus. I don't know the whole thing, but like the trans, gay, bisexual community there on Twitch. He's one of the founding people for that, and I had no idea who this guy was, by the way, before. Okay. And then all of a sudden, my stream goes from 15 viewers to 115 viewers.
Wow.
And they just come in and they start trolling my chat. And for those of you who don't know, my chat's already kind of trolly. It's not like toxic trolly. It's more like fun-loving trolling.
It's joking for fun. It's the good trolls of Twitch.
So he goes, "Oh, you're a Twitch streamer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he's like, what's your Twitch name?" And I gave him my Twitch name, and then instantaneously they all came, and then they were telling me stuff to tell him to get him more triggered. And it was just, it was probably one of the best streams I had. And then what happened actually last night is I cut my stream. I finished. I was like, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to be a responsible adult, wake up early. Yeah. And then I got bored and I was like, I'm going to come back and stream more. So I came back. I turned on the stream. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't advertise it anywhere. I just went live and I was like, whoever comes, whoever comes.
Yeah.
And I'm in this Rainbow Six game. And for those of you who know the Rainbow Six community, there's a lot of screechers and there's a lot of toxic players. And I kind of hit the sweet spot between toxicity and fun. And I had my whole team who were obviously see my name HandsomeLive, and they're like, "Oh, you're a Twitch streamer. Are you live right now?" And I say yes. And they come and they start showing love. And then the other team realized, so the other team came and started stream sniping me.
Okay.
But the funny part is that even with stream sniping me, we 4-0'd them.
Okay.
So they were talking crap about themselves in my stream chat, and they ended up all subbing, all following, donating money. It was unreal. Then they're like, "Hey, do you have room to play with us?" And I'm like, "Listen, you guys seem awesome." So I played with them. I ended up playing with them for like 2-3 hours, and they are now super involved in my community. There was a clip of me pulling off my first ever 1v4.
Wow. Okay.
I put it on my my YouTube channel and stuff like that, and they actually sent it into Stone Mountain 64 to try to get it posted on his like top Rainbow Six plays. They posted it on Reddit, and I had no idea until they started tagging me in these places, and I'm like, "What is going on?" So these guys have been super fun and super awesome. So those are two little interesting things that's happened.
That's very fun.
Yeah.
Now, and I really quickly, I do want to drop this because I know you're fairly new to YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's something you said you got a couple of videos out now.
Yeah, I got 2 videos.
Awesome.
This is 4, so 2. Math is hard, guys. I'm from Montreal.
It's the whole thing. Canadian math, right?
Canadian math, right? 2 + 2 is actually 2.
Yes, that's the way it works. But yeah, so you're doing that now. Now we talked a little bit about this, and I'll just throw it out for chat that we're not quite to the point of a custom URL yet, but I do want to throw it out there that you can definitely get on his YouTube. If you go to your Twitch, do you, I assume, have some sort of a command? Like
so YouTube? I haven't put the link in yet, but by the time you guys see this,
although it's live, it is live.
Although it's live.
Ding.
So by the time, I'm actually so fast that I've went into the future.
Yeah.
And then into the past, and did it both. So
I'm also really good at typing while I talk. You guys don't even hear my obnoxiously loud
you would
keyboard.
hear mine.
Oh, mine's the worst. It's genuinely.
Oh my goodness.
Terrible, and like I love it, but it's terrible.
So I will have added the command for social. Right now, it's only my Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, I believe. I'm gonna add the YouTube in there because I'm gonna start posting little highlights and stuff. So.
Good stuff, absolutely, and make sure we'll off stream we'll grab that as well, so I can throw you a quick sub on there as well. Ah, look at that! I'm the 3rd sub, maybe. I don't know.
14th. Okay.
Whoa, nice, man, growing.
Famous.
Basically, right? Basically. Now we're shifting gears. We're totally taking giant steps all over the place. This is proving what a great host I am. You have just gotten me recently started with a certain esport team.
Oh, yeah.
It's known as Livid.
Livid.
Yeah,
Gaming.
Absolutely. Livid Gaming. Now, would you like to take a moment here to talk about who you are with them, your role, what got you started with them, and just talk about Livid for a bit?
So, for those of you who don't know, so 99.3% of you, I'm one of the co-owners of Team Livid. And what Team Livid is we are a gaming organization, an esports team. I like to say gaming organization because we do have other people who do other stuff besides competitive video games.
This guy.
That guy. So essentially what my role is, I'm one of the co-owners. So the founder, whose name is Citizen514, he's my best friend in real life, and he's the founder of the team. And we have an unnamed third partner at this point, who is also one of the co-owners, and myself. So my role primarily is to deal with the Twitch side of it. So everything that's our streamers, making sure branding, brand awareness, all that fun stuff is present. So if you go to any of our team members' channels, they got Livid everywhere. They got our sponsors, they got our links, all that fun stuff. Yeah. And my job's obviously to manage and be there for the team, the teammates, get them ready for events, recruit new talent, etc., as well as promote the brand through my own stream and my own social media reach and stuff like that. So we are new-ish. We officially formed in January. While there were players playing under Team Livid for the last couple years, but it hasn't been an official team. So now as of January, we're official. We're going to be at DreamHack Montreal. We're going to have a ridiculous setup. Awesome. So if you guys are going to be at DreamHack Montreal, make sure to stop by the Livid Center. I'm literally going to call it a center because we have almost 40 people from Team Livid who are going to be there.
Wow.
So we bought a lot of tickets. We're going to have some swag to give away. We are going to have some stuff to give away.
Oh, wow, guys.
Not saying what it is.
No hints or anything. We're not gonna pry. We're just stuff.
So we got a lot of stuff going on, and it's honestly been super fun being a part of such an organization, especially when it's your best friend who started it. So all you want to see is your friends succeed in life, and I'm seeing it blow up and picking up ridiculous sponsorships and stuff like that. So
that's super neat. And I mean, this is kind of a little bit of a reveal actually for the people in my stream as well, because they're just finding out right now that I'm joining in as the streamer side of your team. So surprise, chat. Surprise. We got him.
Hooked and caught.
Which is, again, I know I'm personally extremely excited. It's something I've been talking about, and off stream, obviously, you and I've had many a conversation now about it. So it's super cool. I'm very excited for it to be coming into fruition finally. So yeah, that's the thing, everyone.
Also, I'm gonna take a little side thing. I'm gonna do
it.
This is all about me. I'm gonna take a little time to do a little promo. I don't know how the best way to do this, but I am doing a giveaway for 1 weekend pass for DreamHack.
Wow, cool.
So the general admission 3-day pass for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm giving away to anybody. So all you got to do is there's a Gleam that I have set up for it. So I don't know how we'll do that. I guess we'll figure that out later for how to link the Gleam. But on my channel, if you just type in !DreamHack, it's there. Or on my Twitter, it's
just get me the link.
Easy.
Just get me the link. I'll
get you the link.
Throw it up here, unless of course I'm really bad at editing, which I might be. And if not, then we'll at the very least make sure that it's going up in chat right now, so that you guys can you can all be part of this.
Chat wherever chat is.
Chat, I think to this side.
That way.
Right over there, guys.
All right, chat. So yeah, so that's gonna be super cool. I actually am gonna be in the streamer zone as well at DreamHack. So I'm entitled to a meet and greet.
Cool.
So if you want to come meet this guy.
Wait. You're saying that we can meet HandsomeLive
you can
IRL?
Meet and potentially touch my receding hairline.
Whoa.
In person.
That's unbelievable. And I'm so glad you said receding hairline, because this whole time I've been thinking, when am I going to drop it on him? And you basically stole it from me right now.
You can't drop it. You can't drop it. But yeah, so I'm going to be giving that ticket away, and you can meet me. I'm going to be in the streamer zone. It's going to be super fun, and you better be there. So
Awesome. Last thing I do want to talk about before we wrap things up. Now, another cool thing. So I said every time I talk to you, I learned something new. Last time we hung out, I learned that you've done some professional poker tournaments.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you've been
check this out. Check this poker face out right here.
Successful too. Wow. I don't know if you have 2 pair or absolutely
7
nothing.
deuce offsuit.
Wow.
Best
kidding,
hand.
So how'd you get started with poker, and how'd you find yourself in the professional scene? Yeah.
So it's a bit of a bittersweet story, I guess you could say. So I'm not technically a professional.
Yeah.
I'm more of a semi-professional because I don't earn my whole living on it. And if I played against any of these professional guys, I would get absolutely demolished.
Okay, that's fair.
So I was always a competitive athlete. I was a competitive football player, baseball player. I did mixed martial arts. And I actually had some scholarships to certain NCAA universities, etc. But I got injured. I had a lot of concussions, so I couldn't play any sort of contact sports anymore, which sucked. So then I had to kind of find something else to get my competitive side out. And a friend of mine had mentioned, hey, you like video games a lot. And I was like, yeah. He goes, you like outsmarting people? And I was like, yeah, who doesn't? And he's like, what if I told you you could make money by outsmarting people? And I was like, oh, tell me more. So that's how my friend, it was my cousin's best friend. He got me into poker. And since then, it clicked. I was 16 years old when I started playing.
Okay.
I was playing for fun with home games and stuff. Then when I hit 18 in Montreal, it's the best. 18, I was out. I was in the casinos. I lost like ridiculous amounts of money for the first 2 years I was playing. And then something clicked in me. I was like, wait, there's strategy in this game. It's not just trying to bluff everybody. And then I learned how to play the game properly. And now I'm doing pretty well for myself. And it's one of the biggest passions in my life as well. So
very cool, man. Very cool. Now, you say there is strategy, and obviously I don't expect you to get into a 10-hour seminar here about, this is what you should do in this particular situation, because there is so much. But do you have just like a general basic pointer for someone who's maybe just picking up poker and thinking, hey,
so if you're brand new, obviously step one is learn what hand beats what.
Yes.
But a lot of players, what they do is they overthink themselves, and even professionals, even myself. But you have to keep in mind that when you're new, that's when you're the best poker player, I find, because you don't know when people are trying to pull certain moves on you.
Yeah.
So in any sport, there's certain moves. Like in football, you have the spin move. In baseball, you have a curveball. You have stuff that people will do to try to psych you out. So going all in on a certain card, or what's called 3-betting. So raising on top of your raise, depending where you're at the table.
Okay.
But this is stuff that when you're new, nothing's going to psych you out because you don't know what's happening. So if I can give a tip to someone, is play your cards and then play the cards on the board. Don't worry too much about what they have. Worry about what you have and then what beats you. If what beats you outweighs what you beat, you probably shouldn't be going. And that's probably the best way to be profitable at an early stage. And then obviously there's so much free resources out there on YouTube and stuff like that. There's a lot of good stuff, a lot of good professional players who give a bunch of free resources. And then when you get to the point, even I'm not technically at the point where you get to that point, you're going to want to start paying for even more in-depth resources. But I'm not even there yet. So
yeah, well, there's so much behind it, right? And I mean, there is so much, and we already talked about Canadian math. This is not
don't even get me started.
Be a strong point for us, but for some reason you're doing well with it. So I give you credit, and I say congratulations on something that I personally would not have near enough bravery is the word I'm going to use.
Well, I'm also a degenerate gambler, so that's always fun.
Yeah, definitely.
I like money for me. Like, I'm not rich by any means, but money for me, it's well, in Canada it's plastic, so I can say it, but it's plastic. So it's you have to spend money to make money. First of all, that's always been my motto in life. You have to invest and like put your money in good places. But if you want to have fun and go below $200-300 a month and lose it, but you had fun, go have fun. A lot of people, what they do, and this is how I justify playing poker and going to the casino and often is that Bloomer, let's say, will take his wife out to dinner once, twice, 3 times a month. It'll cost him about $150, let's say, for the average dinner. That's $450 a month. So if I take that $450 and I go to a casino or I go play poker, it's the same thing. It's a hobby. I'm having fun.
Absolutely.
And I have a chance to make more money. So.
And that's also how people start playing World of Warcraft. Well, it's only $15 a month.
It's only $15 a month. I won't get that McDonald's trio this time.
Exactly.
And then you're stuck. I also play World of Warcraft, guys, if you didn't notice.
And you're in our guild, smiley face. So that's also pretty exciting. Chat, we're going to be dropping it right there, though. Guys, again, you can find him twitch.tv/HandsomeLive. You can also find him on Twitter as well as Instagram, twitter.com/MTLPokerbrat. And Instagram, the same thing, MTLPokerbrat. Handsome, thank you so much for being on the show today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate it so very much. Chat, I hope you had a good time. A little bit of a different format. We're wrapping the show up right here, right now. You be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Big thank you to LavenderCourage for being on the show as well. And with that, we're gone. See you later.